Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. My name's Marissa, and today I am doing the first half of my June wrap-up. So far in the month of June, I have finished 5 books, and I have also decided to DNF 2 books. So basically, I completed my June TBR already, which is kind of nice, but also a little disappointing. So I'm going to start with the 2 DNFs. I did decide to DNF Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. I started reading this and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of over it. It's starting with a story about Simon, and he was from the Mortal Instruments. Yeah, I think it was the Mortal Instruments part of the Shadowhunters universe, and I'm just not interested in it anymore. And this is a really chunky book, and I'm like, you know, if I can't even get into the first story, there's just no way. Just no way. So I did decide to DNF this. I got it for a couple dollars at Ollie's, so I'm really not losing out on a whole bunch, you know, especially if I can resell it to somebody else who wants to read it. So yeah, that's my first DNF. So the next book that I ended up DNFing was Dan Brown, The Lost Symbol, and this is just because I really have not been into Dan Brown's writing lately. The Robert Langdon series for me kind of peaked when I was in high school, and I really got into the books, you know, the Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons and all that, but I'm just not really interested in them now. I did listen to one on audiobook a couple of months ago that was pretty decent, but they're just not it for me right this moment. So I did decide to DNF this one. This one I picked up secondhand at a used bookstore. Still in great condition, so you know, I'll get it to somebody else who definitely wants to read this. Now on to the books that I did read in the month of June. So the first book that I actually finished was Blood for Blood by Ryan Graudin. I'll throw a picture up on the screen because I already sold it. That book was a continuation of Wolf by Ryan Graudin, which is the alternative historical fiction where Germany won World War II and Hitler was still alive, and this girl was competing in a cross-country motorcycle race in order to kill Hitler. I can't tell you guys a whole lot about what this book is because obviously spoilers from the first one. I did not think that this book was as good as the first one. I thought the first one was more action-packed. Well, this one did have some action in it. There was a lot more romance, teenage angsty stuff in there, so it definitely showed itself as a YA novel, which is fine, you know, but it just wasn't what I was expecting after reading the first book and really loving it. So I did end up not liking this as much as the first one, though it was still really good and it's still worth a read, because I do think that it kind of wraps the whole series up very nicely. Maybe not in the way I wanted it to, but it definitely does. So that was the first book that I finished. So the next 3 books that I finished actually are all in the Shadowhunters series by Cassandra Clare, and that is Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. And these books were on, of course, my June TBR to finish because I picked them up in June 2019, and I still had not read them because, like I said, I was kind of getting out of the whole Shadowhunters universe kind of thing. I just think I was a little late to the bandwagon, and I didn't really enjoy it because they all seem like the same thing. It's very repetitive to me. It's all, you know, little bit of action, lots of romance and teenage angst, a little bit more action, you know, they all follow the same like pre-scripted things that happen. So, you know, I did think these were good. I did end up reading them really fast because they are very fast-paced reads and they're interesting. I thought the characters in here were unique and different from the other ones, but the storylines still remained the same, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be unhauling these books as well, just because once I've read them once, I'm definitely not going to go back through and read them again. So the last book that I've read in the first part of June, I actually just finished yesterday on June 14th, was A Lovely War by Julie Berry. Now, I have heard so many booktubers raving about this, that it is fantastic, it's the best book they've ever read. So I had really high hopes for this. Basically, it is a story that is narrated by the gods. There is Aphrodite, there is Ares, there is Hades, Hephaestus in here. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, there's just those 4 characters. So basically, Aphrodite is narrating the love stories of these 2 people, trying to tell her story and how she looks at love and how she helps people get together. So she's telling the story of 4 different people, 2 different couples, and going through the wars, going through World War I and kind of getting into World War II. Now, I thought this was an interesting premise. I thought it was an interesting story. I really liked the romance part of it. The only thing is that I didn't really connect 100% with it because it kept pulling you out of the love story to bring you back to the room with Aphrodite and the other gods telling these stories. And it really pulled me out of the whole story and kind of ruined it for me, especially because they kept telling things that like happened in the future after this story was being told. So I was like, yeah. So it's definitely a really good book. I think the stories are really good. It just, it was not like a shout it from the rooftops fantastic read for me, unfortunately, because I honestly was really looking forward to like the greatest story ever told because of people raving about it, and I was a little disappointed. So yeah, that'll teach me to follow the hype. That is all I have for you guys today. Just a nice, quick, short little check-in video. As you can tell, I obviously haven't been reading a whole terrible lot this month compared to what I normally do. So 5 books in the first half, you know, I mean, I guess it's not too shabby. I did make it through my TBR, which is nice. So now I can concentrate on what I'm going to read for the rest of the month. Part of my problem is I've just not been motivated to read. The other thing is I just got back from a 4-day vacation to the UP of Michigan, and I didn't read a whole lot while I was there because we were out doing stuff and exploring and driving around. And then by the time I got back to the hotel, I was so exhausted from the whole day. It was like I'd read for like 20 minutes and then just fall into bed and pass out. So yeah, that's been my problem. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys today, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching my video. I upload every Wednesday and Saturday, and I would really love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe my videos. Have a great day.